Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Back Road Stompin'. This is going to be a very special episode for us because Back Road Stompin' has now moved into our permanent Cool Cat digital production facilities and Jeep garage. I'm very excited about the unlimited opportunities that will be happening for this show and upcoming episodes. But for today, we're going to be going to Richloam Wildlife Management Area, located in Webster, Florida. And after our trip, we will stop for lunch at nearby Commando's Pizza Restaurant located in Zephyr Hills. See what the little hole in the wall has to offer. And then, we'll do some wrenching on the Vela Golf, and I'll be sure to update you on the progress of the build. So stay tuned for all that and more as we go Back Road Stompin'. Join this good old boy loving life by off-roading and back roads exploring one trail at a time. So get on in and buckle up, because we're getting ready to roll. So we're headed out to Richloam Wildlife Management Area. It's one of 7 large tracts that makes up the Withlacoochee State Forest. Residing in Hernando, Pasco, Sumter, and Lake counties, it consists of over 58,000 acres. It can be really, really wet out there, and some of the guys from the Florida Trail Stompers Trail Boss team last night went out and did some scouting. They got back to me with some reports that a lot of the areas are very drivable and doable, but it's always an adventure when we go out there. So right now, I'm headed to go fill up my belly with some Chick-fil-A, and then I'm gonna put some gas in the Jeep, and I've got the Alpi-Cool refrigerator in the back, chilling with our sodas and water. Let's get started. What I love about living over in this area is that Wawa, which can be a really great store, is right next door to Chick-fil-A. So we all have some sort of issue, like obsession with our vehicles, or got to get those mods and got to build this thing up. Well, the Vela Golf has a very serious issue of a drinking problem, and that's the sauce that she likes to stay on is some go-go juice. And anyway, so we're gonna make sure that she stays nice and hydrated today. Is there any plans to do Mckinney Sink or no? Okay. If you come out here, which we try to encourage, don't come out here alone. Even if you've got 100 years experience of wheeling, don't do it unless you got recovery gear. But there's a place called Mckinney Sink, and it's really nice. It's really nice. There's some climbs and obstacles out there. I've seen a brand new, very expensive Lexus SUV go out there and almost get buried. Richloam General Store is a real working general store from the 1920s, and it's family owned. The dude's great uncle, was it? I think it was his great uncle, was the postmaster general here in the local area, and they had a lot of stuff. They actually had a train coming through. There was a train depot, and there was all kinds of stuff because it was lumbering, doing the lumber mills back in the 20s was a very big industry back then. Safety briefing is done, and we are headed north on 471. We got a lot of members from FTS that came out here on the ride this morning, and really excited about some newbies coming out for the first time trail riding with us, as well as some newbies coming out for the first time at Richloam WMA. We just crossed over the Withlacoochee River, and you can't see it, but over here are some horseback riders on the left, and so you get all different kinds of people who come out here to Richloam. You've got hunters, you've got horseback riders, you've got off-roaders. I've seen it all out here, and like I said earlier, Richloam can be very, very wet, and it can be very scary for some, especially for those that are in stock vehicles without recovery gear. So if you come out here, make sure you don't come out here alone. And FTS, we teach that, and we can't stress it enough that never go out off-roading alone, no matter what your experience level is. You just never know what's going to happen. Plus, if you got 2 vehicles, it can always help double your efforts with pulling power or recovery methods. So always come out here with somebody. Make sure you've got communication. You let somebody know where you're going and have your proper recovery methods. So we're going to go up here a little ways, get out of the dangerous congestion and busyness of 471, and we're going to pull off to the side of the road and have a chance, or give a chance for everyone to air down and disconnect. All right, so we pulled over on the side of the road and make sure we're away from the major road. A lot of folks out here are airing down. And you want to air down so it makes for a better ride, because when you got tires with full pressure going over rocks or obstacles, it makes for a very rough ride. So when there's less air in the tire, it absorbs those obstacles, and it's not going to damage your wheels or your rims, but it makes for a much better ride. So disconnecting means taking your quick disconnect sway bar links off at the front so your body can rock, the wheels can articulate really more. So it's fun. Jacob, come around here, I'll show you. Come around. So these are your quick disconnects right here, and you just pull the pin out, and since I've got this 4-inch lift bracket there, it's a little harder for me on the passenger side, but you just take them out and you just attach them or take them away or whatever, and that's it. So the disconnects, they're made by JKS, and I don't take them fully off. I've got this mounting bracket that I got from TerraFlex, and you just go like that and you stow it, and it's out of the way. All right, we're out here on the trails. Most have aired down and disconnected so they can have a comfortable ride. We got Don out here leading us through Richloam, since he did a scouting trip last night. So looking forward to seeing what he's got planned for us. And as you can tell, might be careful with what we speaking so soon, but it's a little dusty. Reminds me of like citrus or chrome right now. But fear not, we will be hitting some water momentarily, I am sure. Hey folks, my co-pilot, who's my oldest son, says I should bypass this. But I don't know. I mean, I gotta clean it today anyway, and he's not gonna be there, so should it matter? Or should it not matter? But first, this commercial break.
Radio check.
Yes, sir, I hear you. All right, everybody, let us know if you get any trouble there and if you need to be pulled out. All right, everybody, we had a couple vehicles that got stuck, and so they're being recovered currently. And it's taking a good time to take this opportunity for folks to stop and have lunch. Let's see what Casey and Steve are cooking. And we got Steve and Casey here that have broken out the Hell's Kitchen Gordon Ramsay setup here.
Steak sandwiches.
Look at that.
You know I like to cook.
Oh yeah. These folks do it up. So tell everybody what you're cooking today, Stacey, or Casey. I called you Stacey.
Steak, mushrooms, onions, and peppers on an Asian toasted sesame salad wrap. So, simple. Super simple. This was leftovers from last night's dinner.
Now that's the way to go trail riding.
big or go home. Why eat sandwiches when you can eat this?
What's Luna get?
Steak. Duh.
She eats what we eat.
Yeah.
So we're on the west side of 471. And this is the first time I've ever been over here on this side of Richloam. And it's very dry, mostly. A couple mud spots, a couple of small water crossings. But I've never seen Richloam this way before. And so I'm very curious to see what it's like on the east side, even though we won't be traveling that part today. And right now we're about to cross through some ruts that's got some thick mud and like I said, it's just dry out here in most of the areas. Everyone's having fun. That's the most important part. Jacob, you having fun?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't talk much. You can get wallpaper to talk more than Jacob when the camera's rolling. Other times, you can't get him to shut up. We drove around and we knew today was going to be a short ride in Richloam. So what we did, like I said earlier, was we covered the west side of 471. Now let me show you what the east side can look like most of the year. That does it for Richloam Wildlife Management Area. I hope you had a really great time seeing what this venue can offer you pretty much any time of the year. Let's see what's coming up next. Well, what do you do after you go trail riding for the day? You go and grab a pizza. We're here at Commando's in Zephyr Hills. In 2016, Michael Weaver brought years of pizza experience to this little town, and when he dug his roots into it, Commando's became the place to go. Let's go try it out. So looking over the menu, it looks like they've got a lot of tasty items, but I'm a pizza guy, so I went ahead and ordered a sausage and mushroom pizza. So we're gonna give it a try. Well, the pizza's here. You've seen it. Let's try it. The mushrooms are fresh. They're not canned. That's crap. Sausage is very good. Cheese is good. The crust is good. It's all good. Michael Weaver and his crew did a great job here in Zephyr Hills. So come on down to Commando's and try out their pizza. And let's see what's next. Hey everybody, welcome to Garage Time, and this is a special segment. It's a two-parter. On the first part, I'm here with Derek Ferguson of Line X of South Tampa, and we're going to go over what an iDrive is.
Yeah, an iDrive's a throttle controller. It allows you to kind of remap the throttle curve as you're driving. You've got performance modes, economic modes, and then an automatic that kind of learns your driving style. Kind of gets rid of some of that lag when you're taking off the line.
So how many different settings are in the iDrive, Derek?
It's got 4 modes. One mode's just off. One mode's an auto learning mode that kind of learns your driving style. Then you've got a performance mode and then an economic mode for gas saving.
Is there any like precautions we should know about it, like if we leave it on a different setting or a different mode?
No, actually, and it doesn't interface with the ECU. It just changes the signal from your throttle to the ECU. So you can leave this on, you can take it on and off as you need to. Won't void any warranties, anything like that.
Any other things we should know about it, like why a person should want to put this in their vehicle?
It gets rid of that lag. So if you've got a vehicle like a Jeep that you put larger wheels and tires on, and you didn't change your gear ratios yet, you can get really lag off of the line. If you go into the performance mode, it'll get rid of that lag. It'll perform more like a stock Jeep or even better than a stock Jeep. Or if you're going on a lot of trips, the economical mode will save you some gas. But one of the real neat things with this iDrive, when you're on a trail and going over obstacles, a lot of times you hit an obstacle and you start giving more and more gas to try and get over that obstacle, and all of a sudden you lurch over that obstacle and have to hit the brakes, you come crashing down real hard. When you're in that economical mode, you'll get more play with that throttle, allow you to ease over obstacles and come down nice and slow and easy.
Well, Derek, I really appreciate you allowing us to have this for the Velo Golf.
Sure.
Folks, I highly encourage you to go see Derek Ferguson and his team down there at Line X of South Tampa. Not only do they do protective services and coatings for your vehicles, they offer a whole line of accessories. Derek, take it away.
Yeah, so we do everything from wheels, tires, lift kits, bumpers, all of the truck and Jeep accessories that are out there, from floor mats on up. Come see us anytime, anything from the iDrives, and we'll help with installation as well.
And I want to congratulate them on their expansions for acquiring Line X of Lakeland.
Yep, growing. All right, so let's go ahead and change that from the off into U, and then change the U to 9. So this is the ultimate mode. U9 will give you max performance. So now, unscripted, let's see that reaction, Brian.
Where's the quarter-mile track? Wow. Ooh. And Jeep is going to release the V8. I think I got one.
It's almost like having a turbo installed.
Yeah. Whoa. Zero to 60 in like 2 seconds.
Since 2004, Line X of South Tampa has been serving our local Tampa Bay communities with protective Line X coatings and cutting-edge off-road accessories, all installed by technicians who know what it takes to provide the best protection for your vehicles and the right accessories to succeed on any off-road adventure. We give you the ability to take your vehicle beyond the mundane, knowing it can handle even the most extreme conditions. With Line X of South Tampa, you know you're getting powerful protection, the best parts, and top-notch services for whatever comes your way.
So this is part 2 of the Garage Time segment. I'm here with Jesse Hatfield, manager of Full Wheel Parts here in Tampa. Jesse, thank you for joining us. So tell us, what about differential services? Why do we need to do those?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Maintenance for a vehicle is very, very important, and differentials is no different than changing your engine oil or doing coolant flushes. We use our vehicles in off-road capacity in this industry, so obviously there's a lot of abuse that goes into the front and rear differentials as we're four-wheel driving. So maintaining it, inspecting it, and making sure that everything's functioning correctly is why it's important.
How often should we do it? Should we do it per mileage, per monthly, or not monthly, but time-wise?
It's very situational. As it stands in the industry, a normal routine maintenance is going to be between 30 to 60,000 miles, and these are going to be light-duty type applications where people are just driving to and from work. Those of us that are weekend warriors use them at a little bit tougher capacity going wheeling. We're going to want to cut that down a little bit more and start at least inspecting on a regular basis, closer to like 10 to 15,000 miles, just making sure everything's in. And you can do that just looking through the little fill hole or inspecting the condition of the fluid. But a good rule of thumb for somebody who's going to go weekend warrior type is going to be 10 to 20,000 miles at a minimum to check the maintenance.
Okay, so when you say inspect, we're going to look into the drain fill hole. What would we be looking for, and then what consists of the services? What's actually done?
Well, a couple different things that you're looking through that hole. Mainly is going to be the fluid. On Jeeps specifically, the hole is on the back on the cover, so you can look and see a little bit of the gears that are on the inside, so you can check the condition on those. But as far as the fluid is concerned, we're looking for two things. We're looking for the viscosity, whether it's burnt or not, and two, how much material is in there. There's always going to be some shedding to the bearings into the ring and pinion, but if we're going to see metal flakes or anything that's substantial, that's going to raise an alarm. Once we're actually doing a differential service, we're typically going to want to pull the cover off of it, the front cover, and then we're going to allow all that fluid to come out. Again, checking it as it comes out to look for big chunks or anything that may raise a concern. Once it's out, it's a good idea to go ahead and clean the insides and let it dry out, and then we're going to reapply the cover back on and fill it back up with fresh fluid.
And one of the cleaners could be like a brake cleaner spray to get all that extra gunk out?
Brake cleaner does work very, very well. It is a flammable liquid, so it's a good idea to use it in a ventilated area or in an open area, kind of like this with big bay doors. But that works very well. And again, it's something that you got to let it dry out because you don't want that mixing with the gear oil when you fill it back up.
So I've seen before where some folks have had on their gears just little tiny chips off the edges. Is that a good thing, a bad thing, a normal thing?
The chipping can definitely be a bad thing. It could be an indicator to an internal crack inside the gears, so it could be bad. A little bit of scoring on a tooth may not necessarily be an indication, but if there's physical pieces missing off of a teeth or off of some sort of internal part inside the locker, it's best to have it looked at by a professional to make sure that nothing is going to fail.
Okay, so last, when we're buttoning everything up, some people would like to use an Rtv sealant, and then folks like me who've just heard about reusable gaskets like the lube blockers. Can you tell us the difference between the both, and is there really a preference? Is there one that's better than the other? Sure.
Rtv is kind of like a set it and forget it type of application, right? We're going to use that on pretty much any mass production vehicle, and it is a go-to as far as costability. Lube blockers is a new technology that came out years ago, but it's essentially a gasket that has silicone infused to it, and you're able to take it off and put it back on multiple times rather than scraping off all the Rtv. So as far as cleanliness and turnaround time of doing the service, lube blockers are much more efficient and a much easier way to take care of it, but that's not to say that Rtv is bad.
Jesse, thank you so much for allowing me to come down again and having you on the show. Hey folks, come down and see Jesse Hatfield at 4 Wheel Parts in Tampa, and they always have sales going on. They'll throw you a great deal on anything you're looking for. Plus, if you got questions about parts or mods or something and they don't know, him and his team, they'll help you out immensely.
Sure will. Thanks for having me on again.
This is one of my favorite parts, the Velo Golf Project Update segment. Seeing my rig here as it gets built, planning the mods, installing them with my friends or by myself. Just having the vision of this Jeep come to life. And then taking it out on the road, on the trails, and even out to other faraway places and see how it handles. Soon after my return from Windrock last year, I got with FTS trail boss Dan Condos, and we installed the Smitty-built aluminum winch shackle. Now there are so many other brands out there, but I went with the Smitty-built just for the fact that my winch is also made by Smitty-built, and this shackle has a rugged, durable, long-lasting powder coat finish. It's easy to install or remove, precision machined from lightweight billet aircraft grade 6061 T6 aluminum. It also provides a safer and stronger winch point than standard winch hooks. It will still fit synthetic ropes and wire cables up to a 1/2 inch in diameter, and it works with roller and aluminum fair leads. This shackle has a max load rating of 20,000 pounds. Bartech is the company that makes my seat covers. I like the paracord zipper pulls that they sell. It at times can make it easier to zip or unzip the soft top windows. Next up is a really cool must-have mod. I went with the Bullet Point Mounting Solutions Metal Series Universal Dual Dash Phone Mount. You can have your smartphone, tablet, GoPro camera, or other accessories mounted here. That brings me to my next mod, lights. I was very excited to finally have gotten to this stage. It was a long time waiting. I still was hesitant about going with a traditional light bar due to the dreaded road noise, but Sean over at Full Wheel Parts in Tampa told me to check out Aero Lids, and let me tell you, that's the company to go with. I got with FTS Trail Boss Steve, who did an amazing job in getting this task completed. First up, I went with a 52-inch RGB LED chasing light bar and cover with a custom FTS insert provided by Aero Lids. The light bar mounts and front roof LED brackets, as well as the lower A-pillar LED brackets, are all provided by Z-Roads. The lights on these mounts are ProComp USA, and I've installed LED spot and floodlights. My rock lights are the Cyclone rock lights made by KC Highlights. All this is tied into the Band-MX, which is installed under my hood. My control panel is a touchscreen that is easy to program, and both these items are made by S-Pod. The S-Pod screen touch switch panel has the 67 Designs holder, and together, they mount to my Bullet Point mount. Going back to the lights, I wanted to swap out some of the stock bulbs, and I started with the Ariel LED license plate conversion kit. I then swapped out the factory tail lights with Rugged Ridges smoked LED tail lights equipped with their Elite tail light guards. My interior bulbs were also replaced with Natural Light LED interior lights purchased at superbrightleds.com. And later on, I got a couple more sets of the Cyclone rock lights, this time going with blue, and installed them in the interior so they can light up the cabin. I want to thank again both Scott DeMarco and Caleb Christie for the assistance for the install. The final round to the mods was upgrading my radio setup. I upgraded to a set of GXT 1000 VP4 two-way GMRS radios from Midland, USA. Then I also installed a 40-watt MCT 400 micromobile GMRS unit from Midland, USA. This unit is mounted to the Quadratech JK-CBNU quick disconnect radio mount, and I love it very much. It's kind of concealed and it's down there in the lower part of the floorboard on the passenger side. The handheld mic can be attached to Jeep Unique's mic holder that can also serve as a mount for your handheld. Here you see it on the grab bar. Thank you very much to FTS Trail Boss Lauren Downing for assisting with the wiring of this unit, and for also suggesting the low-profile antenna with lip mount fixed bracket made by Bingview. And to finish off this mod, I then ordered a 6 dB gain antenna from Midland, USA. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found some value from it. Before you leave, be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and as always, stomp on. We would like to thank our promotional partners for their extended support in the production of this series.